I do want to talk, because one very innovative and interesting thing that's happening within the Adventure Together Games Discord, and if you want to, like most of these places we talk about, link in the description below for Adventure Together Games website if you're watching this on YouTube, and through their website you'll be able to find Discord and all the places to go to for that. But what was really interesting in Discord, and yeah, these aren't popping up. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm sorry. But no, the community, like just creators popping up saying, "Hey, I can do something with Source. I can create this game off it. I can create this game off it." Tell us a little bit about this wave of creators, like finally, like seeing the opportunity of like creating something and possibly making a life from it. So how has that impacted you guys?
I'd like to jump in and say that the first thing I realized is they are us.
Mm-hmm.
The way they feel about, like, oh, I could make all these games and I could do this and that. That's us. That's literally the way we felt when we kind of first started in this venture, and what we've always wanted to do, because a lot of us, we've always wanted to make video games and board games. We loved sharing like experiences and coming up with complex mechanics to solve with your friends, and we kind of landed into Source, and the first time we got it in our hands is when we're like, oh my gosh, this is a tool. This isn't just a game. This is a tool where people can create stuff. And I tell you, like, the amount of times that we've had other just people, friends and family that we've been helping us playtest and stuff, come up, pitch their own ideas of what they would do with the game, and then just to see the community do the same thing and us do it back to them, like, we're still like, oh, what if you did this as a game, or I'd like to see this. It's just like, yeah, it's just a reflection of us, which is our community is a reflection of us, which is cool to see. It's something unique.
Yeah, I think
it's awesome.
Look, we have a fantastic community. There's a lot of designers, surprisingly, in our Discord, and they're constantly talking about game design and their different, perspectives on game design and games they played recently. And so it's just turned into this really kind of amazing think tank of different independent designers and creators who are just kind of sharing their ideas and bouncing them off each other. And when we looked at it first, we saw, to Tony's point, that it was this tool that could empower creators to come up with and quickly start to prototype and playtest game ideas. We knew we had to share this with the world. It wasn't something we just kind of keep to ourselves. So having shared it, I'm actually kind of shocked at how quickly these teams formed around Source and have started to build their own games. So I want to take a moment to shout out some of the games that are really far along, already have names, already have mechanics, and have had playtests.
Nice.
A lot of them we got into playtest ourselves and test out with these creators. Some of them you could expect to launch as early as this year. So keep your ear to the ground on these projects and these teams and these designers, because they're really incredible. Some of them have been thinking about building a game like this for years. Having known three-dimensional modular board systems existed, they've just kind of been waiting for this moment. And then here it is. And so they've jumped back to, they've dug out these old projects that they were, workshopping, and they're like, now I can do it. So we've talked a bit about, the last time around the podcast, the different ways we'll work together with these creators. But one that I'm most excited about is most likely at Gen Con this year. We're going to have those creators come, and we'll have tables dedicated where they can playtest with just anyone who's shown up at Gen Con has an interest to try them out. And so that sort of feedback loop that'll be there at Gen Con will be an incredible way to show off a couple of things. One is the versatility of the Source system and all the different kind of game modes you can play on it. And the other is just to help these teams get further along in the development cycle, which is, it's critical to get these blind play tests. And sometimes it's really hard to do, and you don't really get the same experience when you're on Tabletop Simulator, although it's a great tool. So this in-person sort of experience we're gonna hopefully get to put together around Gen Con is something I'm super excited about. But to name just a few, and I have write-ups from the creators, so I'll just read through them really quickly. So the first game is called Incursion Event. It is designed by Luke Rosemilia, and it is set in the Fallen universe. So it is going to be an offshoot of Time Strike, based around some of the characters you're playing in Shadow of Fear. So set in the Fallen universe, Incursion event, it puts 1 to 4 players in control of the Knights Mechanica, gigantic armored mechs constructed as part of humanity's desperate defense against a demonic invasion. Inspired by games like Into the Breach and Gloomhaven, Incursion event is a cooperative tactical combat game that emphasizes movement effects and positioning rather than direct damage. The card-based action system makes each turn a puzzle, as players must choose the best combination of effects from a limited hand of cards. Since each player will only take 5 turns during a mission, the tightly constrained scope of scenarios leaves little margin for error and ensures that a single session can be completed in under an hour. So Tony and I got a chance to play test Incursion event. It's a lot of fun. It's like you really have to kind of think through absolutely every single move that you make. And I'm super excited to see how this one develops. And hopefully get going.
Very nice.
I would say one of the
Awesome,
coolest parts is just the positioning that's involved in it. You're constantly position means everything in that game, and it's just and Source feels good with it.
Another game is called Exo Pirates. This is designed by Jordan Brown. They are out of Australia, I believe, or New Zealand. So I always get those two confused. I apologize to everyone in both those countries. But Exo Pirates is a skirmish tabletop board game with the deck building elements set in the distant future, where space pirates, colloquially called exo pirates, fight for control over exoplanets. Your exo pirate can transmit information instantly to another host body using stolen technology deemed to be contraband, allowing your exo pirate to uniquely be reborn in another, more powerful form. As you play, you must reserve cards from your hand that your alternate form will have to rely on, leading to an interesting deck building dynamic as you play. You can also pillage cards from other exo pirates that have fallen in battle, or choose to destroy their memory from existence and prevent other players from acquiring their knowledge. Each exoplanet is unique, with chests containing powerful cards and modifiers that alter how you play and the actions that you can perform. There's another one we've had a chance to play test. I think it's really excellent. Tony?
So good. It's the coolest mechanic in it is you deck build while you play, which I haven't done in a game before. It's really good.
And thematically, my favorite part about this game is when you're dead, a little tombstone gets left behind. You come back in a stronger form, but you can other players can interact with your tombstone and start to steal powers and abilities from your past life. It's super neat. And the other thing is, the deck building that's fun is like the meta sort of like whenever you can discard cards from your hand and put them into your future pile, so that when you come back, that's your new hand. So you're sort of choosing what to sacrifice in your first phase to make yourself more powerful or kind of build that strategy into your second phase. So again, really neat game. The third is Epic, designed by Alexandros Chapin. Epic is a skirmish and quest game set in a world where the introduction of magic has irreversibly altered the course of history. Epic is built for Source and allows 1 to 4 players pit forces of warriors from settings across time and space. The innovative speed stack system allows for a unique turn-based playstyle that rewards sequencing and synergistic team building. Each round, a new event card is integrated with the speed stack, ensuring each game plays differently. This is obviously NGG, New Generation Games, and I know you're very involved in that, Roguescaper. I've been, I'm in the Discord and I'm watching everything that's going on and how you guys are developing. So I haven't had a chance to play test it yet, but I do understand, kind of the core mechanics. Roguescaper, maybe you could say a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so the game is primarily just a skirmish game, kind of meant to be played kind of fast and kind of fun, where the arrangement of the your placement and kind of initiative is constantly shifting. You're constantly adapting and changing around with that, as well as just kind of unique characters and powers and kind of a fun, weird kind of setting of kind of combination of vibes. Like steampunk vampires and crazy goblins. So it's like kind of a bunch of just kind of entangled stuff and a kind of a fast gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for those 3 projects. Those are probably the most mature of the projects, and the teams we're kind of the most involved with and talking back and forth with. But these are all experiences that are going to come to Source, fairly soon. So if you own Source, the idea is you don't have to buy another set. When this game comes out, you'll be able to just set it up in the set you have already and play these games. And it's it's just a thrill for us to be able to work with independent creators. And to be a part of the process, because obviously we love game design and we also love the process of turning ideas into reality. So to work with these teams and help them, bring their dreams to people's tables and hopefully get them published is super fulfilling for us.
That is amazing. It's just amazing to me how it's all developed pretty quickly. It's just a course of just a couple of months, and this is already coming out, seemingly from nowhere, just out of people's heads. That's incredible. Yeah. That is incredible.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
They came running, and it's been really fun to work with them all.
So it's source field of dreams, basically. There you go.
Nice.